Dude, the only people that should be pulling their soulstones for this demonic deck of fate event right here are Krakens and content creators because, well, you know, it might make a nice little video for me, but for everybody else, for like 99% of players, this is a deck of fate event that you want to be skipping if you can. We're going to be talking about the deck of fate, we're going to be talking about the champion chase tournament and what kind of shards you want to be pulling during this champ chase. The prism shard event is also starting up again pretty soon with HP based champions and Grakos Tendrick as the headliner. We're going to be talking about what kind of events you want to be pushing this week, as well as events that are very, very decidedly skippable. Now, of course, a lot of your decision making is going to come down to how much do you want to be pushing in the current Titan event, right? The deck of fate that's coming up might suck, right? Like really, really badly, but it is going to be dropping some Demon Slayer Titan event points, which if you need those points to get your Thorlin 5-star Perfect Soul, and that's something that you're pushing for, you might need to pull on this deck of fate anyway. There are 1,750 points available, of course, throughout the course of this Titan event. This is on my free-to-play account that I'm on right now. 1,700 points available, however, you only need 1,500 points total to get the Thorlin Perfect Soul. So if you've like pulled for every event so far, you haven't missed a single event so far in the Titan event chain, and you've picked up all of the points along the way from the summon rush and all of that, then you can quite comfortably skip this deck of fate, so good for you. But what is it exactly that makes this upcoming deck of fate event so bloody terrible? Before we get to that, man, if you're looking to start off a new Raid Shadow Legends account, man, make sure to get that done by clicking on my beginner promo link that you can find down below at the top of the video description box, man. Click on that link, use it to create your new Raid account, man, or send that link to a friend who's looking to start playing Raid Shadow Legends to get them off to the best start possible, man. We're talking a free start, a legendary champion with Elnaril, a whole bunch of free epic champions as you level up your account, and even Thorlin Foulbeard on day one of your new account, as long as you input beginner promo code Demon Slayer, man. Best beginner promo link going to the best possible way to start off a new Raid Shadow Legends account in 2025, okay, man? The demonic deck of fate, why is it so bloody bad, okay? First of all, man, the demonic deck of fate is skippable if you're doing the Titan event, right? It says right here in the fine print of the event details themselves, 80 demon points for your Titan event are going to be hidden under 2 of the epic purple cards, 40 under each of those cards. A further 60 is going to be under the rare cards, and a further 20 under the greens, meaning 160 points total for this demonic deck of fate. And so, as long as you've hit every event so far, you can go ahead and skip this demonic deck of fate, which is a good deal, given that primarily the rewards for running this demonic deck of fate are going to be relic crafting materials. We are talking, by the way, I think it's like 300 rare materials, which are basically trash. Like, unless you like mega look out with your rare relic materials when crafting, they're basically garbage most of the time. You're going to get 200 epic materials, which, you know, can bomb as well very, very easily. And then you've also got 100 legendary materials, which is pretty good. No mythical materials for a deck of fate, which is a little bit sad, given the investment that these things require. But not just that, man. It's also the fact that if you go into like the relic index and blah, 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 and we find the, where the hell is the current event group? Okay, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, these Chaos Awakes relics right here. People just aren't that hyped by them, man. You know, it's not like a Cat's Gaze, right? You can get your hands on the Cat's Gaze from like the Alice Adventure event chain, and like, this is a relic that's just, dude, it's pumping, right? It's insanely bloody good. It's like fantastic for everybody's account. You know, everybody wanted to get their hands on this. Compare that to the legendary relics from the Chaos Awakes event chain. Gilded Pinion, where it receives 1% less damage for each turn of a cooldown on all of their skills. Okay, like, it's just a bit like, bit of survivability in it, really. That's all it really is. Skull of Treason, accuracy, defense, speed. Okay, even the flat stats of this are not incredible, to be honest. Like, no crit damage. The speed is quite far down. The upgrade chain, HP burn debuffs placed by the wearer deal 10% more damage to enemies with higher max HP. Like, it's fine, like, it's okay. It's not a bloody Cat's Gaze, though, is it? You know, people just aren't quite as hyped for these relics. Now, if we had, like, a couple of legendary relics with the quality of the Cat's Gaze, and maybe, like, a really, really busted epic relic or two, now we're talking. Now this deck of fate might actually be worth pulling for if there was also, like, a 2x Soulstone pulling event going on at the same time as the deck of fate, right? Because the deck of fate, you could be getting all kinds of points in the deck of fate from farming bloody hell, farming artifacts, which I suppose you could do the full deck of fate by farming artifacts, except it takes like 25,000 energy or something ridiculous, you know, so it's not really an option. But as for pulling the Soulstones, I don't think there's even a 2x on Soulstones, man, for this deck of fate, dude. Like, what are we talking about here, man? Honestly, even for a free-to-play account, even if there was a 2x active for this deck of fate, it was like a 2x on Immortal Soulstones or something, and you're pulling all of your Immortals for this deck of fate, okay, nice, you get some like relic materials as well. You could craft something pretty good, who the hell knows, you know? But at least there's a 2x on the Soulstones. Even then, I'd say that it's still probably not worth doing the deck, man, because at the end of the day, free-to-play account, it takes you a long time to save up a lot of these Immortal Soulstones, and especially the big red rocks, of which I have 0, of course, my free-to-play account, that, I don't know, dude, and you're better off just saving these for, like, a guaranteed legendary deck of fate event. I know those don't come around very often, once every few months or whatever, but, like, it's been a while since the last one, which I think is another point to take into account as well, man, with this deck of fate. The last deck of fate event that we had was gifting, like, glyphs. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was I didn't even got any glyphs on any of my gear, man. It's free-to-play account, it's a bad example. But whatever, man, it was gifting glyphs, you know? Like, oh, you can win, like, some epic and potentially legendary glyphs from this deck of fate, you know? And that was very, very much like a frivolous kind of will-only, spender-only kind of deck of fate event as well. And the thing is, we've got a lot of new champions entering the game with this Chaos Awakes event. I think a lot of people were expecting a deck of fate event to come along that awards a guaranteed legendary champion around now. So the fact that it's another deck of fate that's not awarding a guaranteed legendary, and it's honestly quite underwhelming, and it's not even lining up with like a 2x Soulstone event, I gotta tell you the truth, man, this feels like a crazy... This feels like a nutty bait. It feels like just like Kraken bait. I feel like the only people who are going to do this deck of fate are going to be the spenders out there, or content creators. Again, I'd probably pull for it for the sake of the video, if only just to show how bad it is. But all of this is to say that we are actually pretty well overdue a guaranteed legendary champion deck of fate event. It wouldn't surprise me, because this whole like Chaos Awakes event chain that's currently going on in Raid, I believe it's going on for like next month as well. Like, it's a long old event chain, okay? And there's going to be guaranteed legendaries along the way. I wouldn't be surprised at all, okay, if we got a deck of fate event early next month, or maybe in the middle of next month, that does award of guaranteed legendary champion. And so for me, for like 99% of players, this is the most easily skippable deck of fate event in the history of Raid Shadow Legends, like even more than the Glyph event. You know what I'm saying, man? Now, that is not all that we've got going on. We've also got the Summon Pool event starting on up as well. The Summon Pool event for Prism Shards is going to be starting up on the 23rd, so tomorrow after you're done watching this video. There's going to be all kinds of Prism Shards available to pull, and good old Grakos Turndrake is going to be the headline champion. Now, is Grakos like this crazy game changer kind of champion? 3-10 cooldown, increased defense, block damage, buffs and allies for a turn. Brings an attack all enemies, each hit ignores a bit of defense. Also places decreased defense as well. Second hit places block buffs. I think is actually pretty fine. Like, he's a pretty damn solid champion. Also brings a very, very solid passive as well. Stuff like Hydra, right? If an ally has more than 50% HP, it's earned any buffs placed by this champion, that ally then deals 10% more damage, so he gets extra value from his buffs. And if an ally has less than 50% HP, they take 10% less damage instead. Quite a solid champion. Whether you decide to pull Prism Shards or not in the upcoming Prism Shard pulling event, there's just one thing that I want you to bear in mind. One thing, man. And that is that here is the Prism Shard pulling event right here. Of course, it starts on the 23rd, as you can see, and it goes on until it finishes up on Friday the 27th. However, remember that you've always got an extra 24 hours to pull your Prism Shards even after the event ends. I'm always a little bit nervous of giving this advice in case one day PLARIUM decide to change things up and like the event ends when it actually says it's going to end, but typically speaking, you've got 24 hours after the fact to pull your Prism Shards, which means that if you just hold on to your Prism Shards, do not pull them during the marked event on the calendar right here, save them a little bit and pull them during the start of the champion chase. Instead, it's going to be all kinds of free points that way, and if you're going to spend on the Prism Shards, you might as well double dip. You know what I'm saying? Now, for me, oh god, I feel like I'm giving you guys all this advice to skip all these events, and oh, this is how you would be pulling your Prism Shards. If you do decide to spend on Prism Shards, save them until the champion chase, and I'm just not going to save them for the champion chase because I might not be around on the first day of the 27th of the champion chase to record a video. Of me pulling the Prism Shards. So I might actually have to just go against my own advice here and pull my Prism Shards like randomly on like the 24th or something. So just do as I say, not as I do and all that. You know what I mean? But yeah, it really makes no sense that if you can save your Prism Shards to pull during the champion chase instead, it's just going to be freebies there. Now, as for this champion chase event itself, this champion chase tournament, The clue is in the color of the portal right here, but yeah, what kind of shards are you going to want to be pulling for this Champion Chase tournament if you're going to need these demon points right here to finish off your Titan event? Well, when the Champion Chase launches, it is right on schedule for a 2x shard pulling event for Void Shards, right? 2x of Void Shards, the last one we had, I think, was like the middle of May or something, so it's been a while. The timing checks out. Yeah. We're due a Void Shard 2x event. Now, should you be pulling your Void Shards for this event? Well, it depends if you need the Titan points. But for like free-to-play players out there, a 2x event is a great time to pull your Void Shards anyway. What I will say is that if you don't pull your Void Shards during this 2x event, right? You're like a free-to-play player, you want to be saving your shards, of course, for 2x events. Maximize your chance of just getting good epics, good legendaries, and just like broadening the scope of your champion roster and all of that. I will say that if you don't pull your Void Shards during this upcoming Champion Chase event while the 2x is up for Voids, you might not be pulling them until August. Okay, probably like the middle of August, I think will be like the next scheduled 2x after that point. It'll be about 6 weeks. It's possible that that 2x event for Void Shards lands in the middle of a fusion and is required for the August fusion Champion Chase tournament. It's too far ahead in the future for me to actually accurately judge that. I'm not confident about that at all. But if you want to be very, very careful with your resources, and you might be able to do the next fusion, sorry, not the next fusion, but the August fusion, and you want to plan ahead like a month and a half in advance and just save all of your resources and just be ready for an upcoming fusion sometime in August, that you can hold on to your shards. It sounds ridiculous that you've got to plan so far ahead, man, but that's Raid Shadow Legends, you know? Honestly, on my free-to-play account, it might take me about until August to get enough Sacred Shards to do the August fusion anyway, so I'm actually considering not pulling my Void Shards on my free-to-play account and actually planning ahead for the August fusion, like way, way ahead of time. And if I have to skip the August fusion, then I have to skip it. It's whatever, you know, but yeah, you gotta be diamond hands, man, with these free-to-play accounts, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, guys, that is our events calendar. Of course, there's all kinds of extra dungeons and stuff coming up as well, man, for all of those demon points, including a Corrosis Conquest tournament, so an event dungeon tournament, smack bang in the middle of this as well. So you're probably gonna be farming that during the end of the Deck of Fate anyway. And so, yeah, there it is, man. Let me know if I missed anything, by the way, any kind of traps or pitfalls and stuff like that I might have missed in this upcoming event review. But yeah, the Deck of Fate, wow, man, it's looking like a real stinker. Let me know what you guys think down below, man. Thanks for watching. If you're looking to start off a new Raid Shadow Legends account, man, make sure to get that done by using my beginner promo link that you can always find down below at the top of the video description box, man. Just hit that link, use it to create your new Raid account, man, for all of the freebies that you see on screen right now. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to catch all of you all to see a tad bit later, man.